Victoria, you are one of the rare celebrities who has actually managed to go from walking the red carpet to dressing the red carpet. You know, I've been following your tweets this month, and on Twitter I get the impression that you have dressed a lot of these stars who may not be your friends. You probably know them from living in Los Angeles, but they're very demanding and people who really want to look their best. And they're wearing your dresses. They're choosing Victoria Beckham. What do you think you're doing right?
Well, I'm a female designer and I'm designing for women, and I've been that celebrity on the red carpet, and I appreciate that something hasn't got to just look good from the front and from the back. It's got to look good from all angles, and I'm always going to be very sympathetic. My aim, whether a woman is famous like Demi Moore or Oprah Winfrey, you know, or just a woman that I might bump into down the street, I want to make a woman look and feel the best, and I want to make her feel beautiful. And I've often asked that question to friends of mine that are male designers: how on earth, as a male, do you design dresses for women? Because how I work is I actually put the dresses on myself. And I won't disclose any of their answers, but quite a few of my male friends have actually said they do put the dresses on themselves. Because how else do you know how it feels? But yeah, like I said, I've been that celebrity, and my aim is to just make everybody look and feel really beautiful.
Now, you've always had a passion for fashion, we know this, but now you're building a brand. This is a very different thing for all your show business past. You know, this is a meticulous job. Of course, you're doing it with 19 Entertainment, XIX, as we now have to say, with Simon Fuller, who was the person who plucked you out as a Spice Girl many years ago. Does that mean a lot to you that you're working with Simon Fuller?
Simon is one of the most incredible men that I've ever met. I mean, he is not only my business partner, but he's an incredible friend to me, a very close friend. He's the best business partner anybody could ever ask for, because he just lets me get on with it. He just lets me do whatever I want to do, and he's incredibly supportive. I remember sitting in the south of France with him having dinner just before I presented my first collection, and I said to him, "God, Simon, I'm really nervous." And he said, "You have nothing to be nervous about. You just got to go out there and have fun and enjoy yourself. And when you stop having fun, then that is when you should stop doing what you do." And Simon, I think that's why he's always been so supportive, is I love what I do. I'm very passionate about what I do. When I first started designing, the idea wasn't to create a big brand. I just wanted a creative outlet. I wanted to do what my heart told me that I wanted to do. And I used to say it was my hobby that happened to have done very well. And that really is what has happened. And Simon has just been incredible from the very beginning.
Victoria, we've been talking a lot today about the emotion involved in real luxury and in the soul of a brand. And of course, from your point of view, you know, you're putting your heart and soul into this, but you have to have a design team. I mean, especially, I don't know how you chose your team, but then, you know, they're in London here, aren't they? And you're half of the time in LA. How does it actually work?
Well, Roland Murray, who is actually managed by Simon Fuller as well, when I first started, he helped me put a very small team together that would help turn my dreams and my designs into reality. And as every working mum that's sitting out there, I'm sure, can relate to, I wake up every morning and I feel like I'm juggling glass balls. I live in Los Angeles. My business is run out of London, and most evenings I'm curled up in front of Skype in my dressing gown, speaking with my studio in London. I travel a lot. My team travel a lot. But I wouldn't have it any other way. I'm very proud to be British, and my brand is British, and I'm very proud of that. And it's hectic, but I love it. I just love what I do.
So why do you make life even more difficult for yourself by showing in New York? Why wouldn't you show in London or show even in Paris?
Because I like to complicate things. It's never boring. You know, for me, it started out in New York because I live in America and it was very convenient. But I love New York. The American fashion industry right from the start, was incredibly supportive, very kind. I love New York. What's not to love about it? It's a fantastic atmosphere. I'm also very superstitious. I always stay in the same hotel, the same room. But I would never say never either. At some point, I would love to show in London. I mean, this is my home. This is where I'm from. So never say never. Maybe one day.
You've just been talking about Skype. Very interesting that you're working with Skype. Christopher Bailey has said the same thing at Burberry, that he does lots of fittings via Skype. But you also do many other things with technology. How important is all that? I mean, it's not just a website. It's not just masses of hits on Twitter. It's also those little mini films you do, the backstage and other things. Do you really embrace the idea of doing things digitally?
Absolutely, and for me, creating these virals is another creative outlet, and it's another way for me to really connect with my customer. As for Twitter, I started that initially on the lead up to and including Fashion Week, because it was a great way for me to really connect with my customer and for my customer to really feel part of what I'm doing. And I also love sharing fashion tips. If I find the new fantastic Chanel nail polish, I want to let everybody know about that. So I had a lot of fun with it, a lot of fun. I think my team are always nervous. Every time they know I've sent a tweet, they're thinking, goodness, what has she said? Because they know I'm a bit of a live wire. But it's been a lot of fun, and I think it's something that my customer really appreciates and can enjoy with me.
What about your accessories? You've done sunglasses very successfully. You've done the fragrances in the past with David, and you're doing bags now. What else is there to come?
I've had a lot of fun working on the handbag collection, which I have just launched, which has been received phenomenally well. All of the handbags are handcrafted in Italy. And there are lots of other product categories at some point that I would love to enter into. I have a denim collection as well and a sunglasses collection, both of which I have now taken in-house. The brand is doing incredibly well, but there has been little hiccups on the way. And I'm now in a position where I've been able to pull everything in-house, working with different manufacturers. All of my denim is now made out of Italy. The glasses, all handmade in Italy. So more accessories line is definitely something that I would like to do at some point. But for me, it's about taking baby steps. I'd like to still be here in 20 years' time. I mean, not literally here, but I would like to still be around in 20 years' time. So I just want to make sure that every product category that I enter into, I have the correct team of people. Somebody said to me, would I be interested in doing shoes? I would love to, but I'm optimistic, but also very realistic. I would have to have the right team. I'm going to have to really research that. So maybe at some point in the future.
So tell us about your shoes.
I'll tell you about my shoes. Oh, I've got to tell you about my shoes because I bought them especially for the event, and then I found that I was going to be speaking just before Karl Lagerfeld and their Chanel. So I'm very excited about my new shoes.
Now tell us, Victoria, what is David's role in all this? Obviously he has an enormous career of his own, but you have done collaborative things with fashion in the past. You did the fragrances, and then you did that great advertising campaign with Armani for underwear, which went viral across the world. Anything more in the pipeline for that? I mean, are you going to do a men's collection?
I mean, what's David's role? David looks good. That's what David does. David looks good and I'm the funny one. That's what I hear constantly. But looks fade. I keep telling him that. But I always say these silly things, and then he always says to me, why do you say that? I just can't help myself. Armani was a lot of fun, and I'm very proud of the business that we both generated with Mr. Armani. But there are no plans right now to work together. I would never say never. As for a men's line, I'm not really that interested at the moment in men's clothes. And I have to actually tell everybody what you said when we actually discussed menswear. And do you mind me saying what your answer was? Susie said, don't men look better with their clothes off? and I have to say that we did both agree on that, didn't we? Maybe at some point, but not just yet.
Now, Victoria, just 5 collections since spring 2009, did I get that right? You've now been nominated for a British Fashion Award. How would you feel if you were fortunate enough or that you were voted to have earned this award? How would you feel?
I mean, I know it sounds incredibly cliche, but I genuinely am really amazed that I was actually nominated. After 5 seasons, and to be nominated alongside some of the most iconic British brands really excites me. I'm not expecting to win. If I do, it would be fantastic, but I'm genuinely not expecting to. I was just over the moon. I mean, after just 5 seasons, that is a huge, huge honour. And who'd have thought?
Well, we'll all be out there rooting for you, Victoria, come December. I want to thank you very much for sharing your thoughts with us. You know, this is a very serious business conference, but it's very good. But it's very good for people to see, not just people who have built a brand, but the idea that you as a celebrity can actually build a serious brand, which is not the case with many things that we've seen with celebrities. You're not just signing up to licenses and just putting your name on everything. I think that's a credit to you, a credit to your company, and wish you lots of luck with it.
Thank you. I mean, you know, thank you for having me, Susie. And you know, just to round it up, I am very passionate about what I do. I am a control freak. I have a great team of people, but I'm very hands-on, and for me, it's the attention to detail and making sure that I give my customer the very best. So I'm just very fortunate to be here and loving every minute of what I'm doing. And thank you. This is a very grown-up thing for me to do. And
thank you very much.